Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, I've got Kaye Price, financial planner. The reason I'm doing this podcast with you right now is that I need to change my mindset with money, my relationship with money, and I need to be a lot wiser with financial planning. Okay?
Yeah.
From your aspect, what is financial planning?
Okay, so it's different things to different people. So financial planning is kind of where you take control of your financial future. So you become secure today and for the future. So as a financial planner, I work with loads of different clients, loads of different types of clients. And it might be that you as a business owner want support as a business owner. So I'd put my business owner financial planning head on. If you want, and I always say to people, it's about what you want out of life. So it's about looking at the future, but also looking at today about what's important. It's about prioritising things. And people just get really scared about money and scared to ask for help or think it's too complicated and I'm going to feel like an idiot if I go and see a financial planner. So
Why financial planner and not financial advisor? Is there a difference?
Yeah, because I think, so my business is called Financial Wellbeing actually, KP Financial Wellbeing. So that's more my thing. And the reason it's that, it wasn't originally that when I set up my business. So I basically set up my own business in 2018, and when I set that business up, I was known as KP Wealth Management. So the word wealth management scares the shit out of people because they'll say to me, well, you won't want me as a client because I haven't got any wealth. If you think like, oh, okay. So I didn't want people to say, I can't speak to Kaye because she won't want me as a client because I've not got any money. So within about a year of setting my business up, I basically contacted the company that I'm under, St James's Place, and said, I want to change my name. I don't think it fits with my beliefs and values and what my clients are about. So I asked if I could change my name to KP Financial Wellbeing, and since then it's gone huge because financial wellbeing is about how it makes you feel. So it's about the kind of beliefs and values and how you feel about money. My job as a financial planner is to help you plan for your future. So to take that anxiety about money away, take the stress of money away, and help you sit down and go, right, where are you now? Or where do you want to be? And how do we get you there? What's the journey that we take together? That's kind of financial.
Should we just get into it? Because, we might as well just do this as a consultation.
Yeah,
So,
here we go. Right.
I went to private school.
Right.
The kids that had all the money at private school were dicks.
Okay.
So I was like, is that what you like when you've got loads of money? Wealth.
Yeah.
Inverted commas.
Yep.
My mum became bankrupt and we moved about 15, 16 times around. So I know what it's like to have it and then lose it.
Yep.
So I'm stuck in this middle of this juxtaposition that I don't want loads of money because I become a dick. And then I also have got this scarcity mindset that I've got nothing.
Okay, yeah. So where's that middle ground, if you like? Yeah? Okay, so for me, I grew up in a really working class family. So lived in a council house, mum, dad, two sisters. I went to grammar school, but it was free because I ended up going over to Trafford because my primary school teachers were like, she's got a bit of something about her, you need to send her to a better school. But it was free. My mum and dad wouldn't have been able to afford to send me to that school. My dad borrowed the money from my granddad to buy my uniform because it was like blazer, hat and all that kind of thing. So I've grown up with not much and knowing that, when you've got it, you want to keep it, but you can survive, can't you, on not that much if you want to. So I kind of get that. And then I basically wanted to work from the age of 16. So I didn't go to college, I didn't do A-levels, I didn't go to university. I literally started working in a bank. Don't ask me why, but clearly that path has brought me to where I am today. So I worked in a bank for 7 years or so. So saw lots of different types of people with money, people without money. And then in 99, I started as a financial advisor at that point. So I was employed by a company to give financial advice to clients. But the clients that I looked after were doctors. So I built up a real niche for my kind of business, if you like. So I saw people with money then. So I saw the different side was like, I was this working class girl at 24 advising doctors who
How
had
did you feel
money.
about that?
Out of my depth at first.
Can you connect with these people?
I do now. Well, I do obviously really well now.
Yeah.
But at first, I got asked lots like, how are you a financial advisor? How old are you? I was always asked how old I was and, how can you know this stuff? But what I always used to relate it back to was doctors are only 24 when they qualify. So what's the difference? You're a doctor and you're 24 or whatever, and I'm a financial advisor and I'm 24. You still got to do all your exams, all your qualifications, everything to be that person, and then continually develop your knowledge and your expertise throughout your career. I have to evidence my continued professional development of about 40 odd hours a year to get what's called a statement of professional standing. So I have to do that every year. But I did that job for 19 years. I stayed with the same firm for 19 years. So during that 19 years, nobody knew who I was. Like, nobody knew who Kaye Price was except my friends and family, because I just did a job, went to work, did a job and come home. And then having had my third daughter, I was a bit like, I want to do this for myself. I don't want to do this for somebody else. So that's why I set up my business in 2018. And I've got clients with millions of pounds, and I've also got clients who put 100 quid a month away, and I treat my clients the same. Doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from, or what you need me for. My job is to say, why do you need my help and how can I help you with it? And that's why you've not got a feeling that in between bit. Having money is, I can't change the way you are with money in terms of whether you're going to be a dick or not when you've got loads of money. But what I can do is help you understand why it's important to plan for your future. And it's not about being rich or being wealthy. It's about imagine what your retirement's going to look like. Do you want to be able to travel? Do you want to be able to go on holiday? Do you want to be able to treat people? Do you want to be able to survive? Or do you want to just be sat watching daytime TV every day and not be able to go out and see your mates and go for you know what I mean? So it's like there's a big kind of differentiate, and there's a massive gap in pension planning. There's a massive gap in people's kind of long-term strategies for that, which was one of the reasons the government introduced the workplace pension, so that everybody has to be in a pension to provide for themselves for the future. But that's not gonna cut it for most people. If you look at the cost of living we've got going on now, it's tough, isn't it?
Tough.
And people are struggling to make ends meet now. So some of the clients I work with now just talk to me about budget planning. Okay, how can I make my money stretch longer? How can I make sure that I'm not overspending every month? So being a financial planner is about both ends of that spectrum for me. And I make myself accessible to anyone that basically thinks that they need that help.
I don't know if the problem I've got is that I don't want to retire, and I've not really got a thing that I want to put into a pension to kind of go, right, okay, I need this money, where my money's always going to be within my business.
Okay. So obviously I can't give you advice because we're being recorded and it's not supposed to be like that. This is educational. Let's get that disclaimer out there. But I look after different types of clients. So I look after business owners like you, Tim. Mm-hmm. I look after NHS professionals. So that's kind of my real bread and butter of what I do. That's what I'm really well known for on social media and on my website. Mm-hmm. And then during COVID, I had to kind of strip back a bit because those doctors and my clients were pretty busy at that time. So I joined an advising women committee with St James's Place and really pushed advising women, because a lot of women really do shy away from taking financial advice from anybody because they feel like they're not educated enough to do it. They let their partners take control, or they just think that they're going to be a bit like going to see a mechanic. They're going to be undermined or made to feel silly.
Very good, mate. Love that. Love that. Never even thought of that.
So that's really important to me.
Taking that power back,
Yeah, like basically, you need to have control. So I call it a financial journey. So you're going on a financial journey, and during that journey, you're going to hit loads of different obstacles, aren't you? You're going to get married potentially, have kids, move house, get divorced, lose somebody, inherit money, create a business, lose a business. There's going to be so much. Kids are going to go to uni, kids are going to leave home. So you're going to go through menopause. So there's so much that we all have to navigate. Women, a lot more things kind of happen to them. They're the ones that give up work for kids, go back to work part-time. Those things affect their pension in the long run because they've stripped it back. So I just help women take that control back and it's been brilliant because it's having been to lots of networking and stuff that I now do in Bolton. I'm a member of quite a lot of female-only networking groups. I think by default rather than choice, and really got a lot of clients off the back of that. But I think if you can't see that future, it's a really difficult thing for you to do. Like you say, I don't know if I ever want to retire, all my money's in my business. Well, actually, the money in your business, if you put it in a pension, is really tax efficient because you don't pay corporation tax on your pension contributions, etc. So as a business owner, a lot of times I meet people and they go, I didn't realise that. I didn't know I could get money out from A to B for me, if you like. Because when you come to when you come to retire, you'd sell your business, wouldn't you? Potentially. Then you've got to get that money out and pay tax on the money that's in your business. Or you'd sell your business, wouldn't you? You'd sell it on to somebody younger that's going to continue your legacy and carry on do what you do. So there's that as well.
That's the dream.
Absolutely. So there you go. So there's your first dream. So you want to make that. So to make that a reality, you need to sit down. So if you've never had a financial planner, you've never used one, then it's a bit like having a financial health check, like an MOT, like a health check on yourself. So I say to people, if you've never had a financial planner come in your life, then there's nothing to stop you just sitting down and going, right, this is where I am, this is what I've got, cards on the table, this is what I earn, this is what I spend, these are my assets, these are my liabilities, these are previous plans that I've taken out, this is the pensions that I might have. And a lot of people have old pensions from old jobs that they might have had before. And then go, but where I want to be is there. So then my job is to kind of look at that and diagnose the best steps forward and go, so often I'll go, actually what you're doing is brilliant. You're doing a great job, but we could tweak it here or we could tweak it there. And often it's about making people's money work harder for them. So it might be a case of, well, you've got loads of money in cash, should it all be sat in cash? Is there other things you could be doing to make that money work a bit harder for you? It might be that they've got a lack of pension provision, so it might be about retirement planning and looking at the goal there. It might be that they've got a mortgage, 3 kids, and no life cover, no income protection, no cover in place for unforeseen circumstances. So it's all about just every little bit going, that looks good, that's okay, we could change that a bit, we could move that a bit. And that's my job, that's what I do, that's what a good financial planner does for their clients. And just take away that, I don't know, it's like, I get a lot of testimonials from clients who go like, having spoke to you now, I kind of like, the pressure's off, like I don't feel worried about it so much. And they don't just see me and then I go swinging off into the sunset. They become a client that I then nurture and look after throughout their journey until I decide to retire, obviously. But like you, I've got a contingency plan in place to sell my business, keep that going. So I have clients now that ask me, because I'm 50 now, so I get clients saying to me, well, what are we going to do when you're not doing it anymore? I'm like, well, don't worry, because I'm not just going to go, right, I quit tomorrow. I'm going to be bringing somebody in, handing it over, and there's only ever going to be the person I want to take my business on. I'm going to choose who that person is, and they've got to believe in it the way I believe in it. Do you know what I mean?
The women thing's really cool, man.
Yeah, I love it. I honestly, I have so many women that come to me. And so I did loads of webinars when COVID came and everyone had to kind of, I don't know, change the way they work. Change the way you work. I just thought, right, okay, so I can do one or two things. I can sit at home and pretend I'm on an all-inclusive holiday, which I did for about 3 weeks, and then go, this ain't going to work for the next 6 months when we're in lockdown. So I created webinars. So the first thing I did was I created a business club. So other female like-minded business owners, we got a club and we created it. So, Becky Martin from Boo, I'm sure you know. Becky. So Becky, myself, Alison Marsh from Insight Business Solutions. So there's about 5 or 6 of us all got together and we put webinars on saying, we're business owners in Bolton. How can we help you as business owners? What do you need from any of us? Financial planner, coach, accountant, media, we did all that. We did that for a while. Then I did some financial wellbeing webinars for the NHS staff because they were going through stress. And obviously a lot of stuff was going on with COVID, so I delivered those online virtually in the evenings, just saying, if there's anything you need from me, I can support you. And then I delivered some advising women stuff, so got loads of women on board. people that would be like, oh my God, I've never thought of that before. Like, thank God there's somebody like you I can speak to. And then off the back of that, got invited to maybe like mentoring and coaching women's clientele, and they get me in on their webinars with their clients going, I've got this person who's a financial planner. And then it kind of like snowballed from that, really. And because of that, I just got, I don't know, I went from nobody knowing who Kaye Price was because I was employed to setting up my own business, and within a couple of years, I mean, I set it up in June 2018 and COVID came in March 20, so I'd not been going very long. So I just networked, got online, did a lot of that stuff. I didn't have social media before I had my own business, so I set up Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I had LinkedIn, but I was rubbish on LinkedIn, but I'm a lot better on LinkedIn now because it's a great platform, isn't it? But I didn't really know, as an employed person, I had a client bank. I didn't need to get clients. I had clients. So when I moved, a lot of my clients came with me, which was brilliant. And then I, you know, from that, I just get referral business constantly. And then I've got a website, so obviously people come through, I get traffic through my website, I get probably 4 or 5 inquiries a week coming through the website. But suddenly people knew who I was, so I was getting asked lots of things, getting asked to be involved in events, getting asked to be involved in different topics and talks and that kind of thing. I did a talk on International Women's Day for Pink Link a couple of years ago at their event, so, you know, talked about advising women again because it was a women-only event. And then just started getting nominated for awards and stuff like that. So that's been brilliant. Not that it helps my clients, but it's quite good for your ego, and it's also really good for your social media platforms to show people that actually I'm recognised for the work I do. Yeah. And I'm better than somebody else, or I'm as good as other people. So that's really good for me because there's a couple that I'm still chasing, a couple of awards that I'm still chasing. So I've won Anita's award a couple of times, so the Women in Business for Bolton. I won that for the last 2 years. In November I'm going down to London for the 4th year as a finalist, so I'm like, please God. So it's run by a professional advisor and it's women in finance, so it's my kind of industry. And it's financial advisor of the year for the Northwest. So you go through like a nomination process, application like you would always, and I've been shortlisted as a finalist along with another 6 women, different women every year, for this will be my 4th year. So clearly I'm doing something right to get to the finals, but I just don't quite get the award. So every year I put a better application in, more things that I've done, more things I've achieved. So I've got both my fingers crossed that I might get that this time. And I'm up for She Inspires again in November. So they're just, because I've got three girls, so it's inspiring to them to see their mum create a business, grow a business. Like my 17-year-old, she is embarrassed. She goes, oh my God, Mum, you know everybody. Wherever we go, you know someone. We go to a restaurant, she's like, how do you know that person? I'm like, I just do. Or, you know what I mean? And it's like, she's like, oh God, no, don't. So I go into schools as well, do a lot of education in schools. I've done that recently. Yeah, good. Because you said about being at private school and having money. So I don't go to private schools doing it. I go to St Joseph's and West Orton High School. Yeah. And me and a colleague delivered to 250 year 9s just before the end of the summer term. That was interesting. They're quite a tricky bunch, year 9s. Yeah. I remember my eldest being a year 9er. But again, for me, we've got to educate the younger generation about money. So we have education. We have education at school for primary schools, high schools and colleges that we deliver for free, that we go into schools and deliver. So the teachers just need to ask me about it and we'll go and deliver it. And it's just educating kids about what's a pay slip, what's tax, what do you mean you pay tax when you get a job, you know, national insurance, what does it pay for, what does it give you, insurances, what are they, why do you have to have insurance, what's a pension? And they were literally like, what? You know, and it's like, you need to know this stuff. This is really important life stuff that you need to understand. So again, that's kind of something that we're really pushing as a business because, you know, I've got 3 young girls and I just think it's so important that they understand about the value of money. Did you grow up with things like money doesn't grow on trees and turn the big light off and Blackpool illuminations? Yeah. Yeah, it ruined me that. That's really, really deep ingrained in you. Yeah. So that's a real kind of stuff. So that's something when, as a financial coach, that you can really work with clients about, because how you think about money now, Tim, will be directly linked to your impression of it as a child.
100%.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
agree with
100%.
that?
Yeah, 100%. It ruined me. Money doesn't grow on trees. Still to this day. I'm
So
just
you think
like,
you don't
why can't it grow on trees?
And people don't think they
I'm
deserve...
fucking daydreaming, like, why can't it grow on trees?
Yeah.
And it does grow on fucking trees. It's abundant.
Yeah, you've got to get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Go out there, get it, work for it, whatever. But again, this is the thing, you don't get it unless you work hard. You can't get it unless you do this. So it makes people believe that they're not good enough to have that money, to be able to earn six-figure sums or whatever. So beliefs and values are ingrained in you from a child. So as an adult, you've got to be really careful how you speak to your kids about money, because it affects them as an adult when they go into the world of work and what they think's right and wrong. And it's terrible, that.
How do you reframe it now then for your kids?
I kind of just say things like, that's fine, you can have that, but we'll wait until we've saved for it, or we'll wait until, I'm generous with my kids, don't get me wrong, but they don't get what they want when they want. And it is about, you can be whatever you want to be. So I'll say to my kids, you can be whatever you want to be. You just obviously at school, do your work, do your exams, do whatever you can. But ultimately, your path, your fate is already laid out for you, whatever you're going to do. And I'm having this conversation at the minute with my eldest daughter because we're just looking at unis. Yeah. Which is like a minefield for me. So we're looking at unis and stuff, and she's like, oh, I want to do a law degree. And at first I was a bit like, a law degree? Really? Is that what? And she said, that's because you don't think I'm capable of doing it. I'm like, no, if you think you're capable of doing it, that's fine, do it. If you think you're capable of doing a law degree, then let's go and look at law at university. And that's
Were you thinking that?
I wasn't thinking it like that, but she's changed 360 degrees. She wanted to be a paramedic. So we've gone paramedic here, law there, and kind of nothing in the middle.
Right.
And it's like, wow, that's a massive switch, massive career switch. But I've let it settle, and I've thought about it, and I'm like, why can't she do a law degree? What's stopping her? She's got the grades. She can apply to a university that'll accept her grades. She can do it. And then she's talking about going into family law, anything to do with, So when we went to the Salford Uni at the weekend, they were saying, you don't have to do a law degree and become a solicitor or a barrister. You can do a law degree and work in companies and help with family law or HR law. Or, there's lots and lots of opportunities. So I've said to my daughter, just do that degree, because the opportunities are endless for you then. You'll know when you finish that degree what you're interested in. And if you're not interested in that, something will come that's meant to be for you. She might end up coming into my business. I mean, she won't at the minute because she says it's boring. Your job's really boring. I'm like, it's far from boring, because she doesn't understand my job. And I've obviously said to her, well, you wouldn't come in at your age, you're too young, because I experienced that kind of age thing where I was young as a financial planner, and clients won't trust you as much when you're young, because what life experience have you had to share with a client? Because the thing I do a lot with my clients is I share, probably an oversharer really, because I'll have conversations and we'll talk about the uni thing, or just bought her a car, or like my middle daughter's adopted, we'll talk about the fact that we've adopted, talk about this. I openly talk to my clients, but I think because I do, they see me as a friend as well as their financial planner, that's someone that they trust. And you've got to trust your financial planner, because if you don't, you're going to be like, I don't really know if I want to work with her.
Yeah, and you're not going to put all your cards on the table either, are you?
And you've got to.
You've got to, haven't you?
Yeah. You can't hold anything back, because otherwise it's not a real, authentic meeting of minds, if you like. It's not like you. So one of the things we say is, the more information you give me, the better my advice will be. The more information I get from you, the better decisions I can help you make, the better my recommendations will be. And that's what's really important for a client to know, that, from the outset.
If somebody does come to you with this, money doesn't grow on trees, that sort of scarcity mindset, like, is that what you talk about first and foremost before you even get into the...
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do you change that relationship?
So you have to just start going back a bit and saying, why do you feel like that? What is it? Yeah, I know. And then it becomes a bit of a counselling session, doesn't it? And I'm not a trained counsellor, but it's an open conversation. Like, why do you feel like that? What's making you feel like that? What's stopping you from saving? What's stopping you from spending? What's making you overspend?
What is it generally? What can you keep seeing a sort of pattern of when that comes to...
So it tends to be, what I find is a lot of women overspend and then they hide their overspend. So it's a bit of a joke, the girl math thing. I do the girl math thing on the radio show that I do. But basically, it's like a lot of women will, will hide spending because they're embarrassed, because they've spent too much. Or, oh no, I bought that coat ages ago to the husband, because they don't want to tell the husband that they've spent more money. And I think a lot of overspending is linked to ADHD, you know, it's linked to the way your brain is wired and what you think. And it's like a happy pill, isn't it? It's like going shopping's like euphoric.
Dopamine hit.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what I try and tell clients to do at the very beginning, anybody that comes to me and says, I can't save because I have no money left, or I can't do this because I don't have any money, you know, we'll do a budget planner. So I'll get the client to do it on their own first. Like, what do you get paid every month?
So ingoings, outgoings.
So what do you spend?
What
do you
subscriptions
earn?
have you got?
Absolutely.
Do you really need Spotify Premium?
Everything. So I'll say, you know, put your mortgage, your rent, your utility bills, your food, your subscriptions. And then I'll also talk to clients about, don't ignore Christmas, all the birthdays that you spend every year, your annual car service, the stuff that you go, I get paid £4,000 a month and I only spend £3,000. Yeah, but do you? Because what about when your car needs servicing? Where do you get that money from?
Yeah.
So I get them to break it all down, and then we look at what disposable income is available. And if at that point there isn't any, then it's a case of going, right, so where are your spending habits? So I had one client that was like, basically, I just spend money on Amazon for fun. Just constantly spending money, like every day there's an Amazon parcel. And we just got kind of into a mindset where she had a separate account and she was allowed a certain amount of spending on Amazon. When that had gone, it had gone. And within 6 months, she came back to me and was like, oh my God, I can't believe that that's actually worked. Like, I now have money left every month, but I still have my little effort fund, if you want. That's what she called it. And she gave me a great testimonial saying, you know, I expected the big sale. I attended one of her webinars. I thought she was going to like try and sell me loads of products, and which is not what I am. That's why I'm not an advisor, because advising is kind of like product driven, where this is about thoughts and feelings. Yeah, I know. Yeah, crying. No, it's not crying. Do you know? I have had people cry.
I'm not surprised, mate.
Yeah.
It's very emotional what you're doing, to be honest, because you're helping people take back control.
Yeah.
Aren't you? Which is really important.
And not all clients are like that. So not every client.
People will type in the thing and kind of go like that with it.
Oh yeah, they don't want to look at the end result. But and don't get me wrong, that's some of my clients, but not all of. So a lot of my clients are very much, you know, they've got money. They come to me and go, you know, I've got this money in the bank and I want to invest it, or I've got this pension fund, I want to do this, you know. So I have clients that are in control already and just want a good financial planner, and I've been recommended to them and they come to me and I work with them. And my doctors tend to come to me more for that because I'm recommended to them. Yeah. Some of the clients I work with who aren't like that, who don't have control, are the clients that are more rewarding to work with a lot of the time, because I feel like I'm helping them. I'm helping them. And it's about, you know, everybody should have like a short, medium and long-term plan. So my job is to go, right, short term, we need to stop you from overspending and get you to a point where you've actually got money left every month. And then starting to save money, it becomes part of your outgoing. So I always say to people, treat your savings like you treat a bill. Don't treat your savings like I've put it in savings but I'm going to take it back. Or don't say I'm going to save what I've got left at the end of the month, because you'll spend it until there's nothing left. So when all your bills go out, include your bill for your savings account as your bill, and then what's left is what you can spend. Your savings have already gone out. And that's a really powerful way of doing it, because you go, that's a bill, it's gone. I've not got that money anymore. That's what I've got left. And then over a year or two, you'll get people come back going, oh, I've got £4,000 in my savings account, I didn't have that before, or I've got, you know what I mean? And it's like, brilliant, you're doing a really good job, keep going. And then they'll come back to me for a review. So I review everybody every year. Some people come back to me more often because they just want the hand holding a bit closer. That's also fine.
What are them savings for? Obviously, it's on an individual basis.
Yeah.
But what do people, because very recently I'm talking to my friend Ian about this, and he says, I think what you need to do, Tim, is savings equals legacy.
Yeah. So short, medium and long term, generically should be, short term is your emergency fund.
Just in case the shit hits the fan.
Absolutely. An emergency fund should be around about 3 times your net income. Right. So whatever you get paid a month after tax, so if that's £3,000, you should have £9,000 in an emergency fund. Ideally, in an ideal scenario, that's for your roof leaking, your car breaking down. Yeah, like my daughter's car we bought the other day literally died on the car park to pay for a battery in the car. That kind of thing. Your boiler breaking in the middle of winter, you've got to get it fixed, haven't you?
Yeah.
Can't not get that fixed. So that's your emergency fund. Your medium term stuff will be specific to you. So it might be, right, I've got kids that are age 10 and I want them to go to uni, but I don't want the expense at the time. I want to save for it now so that when they go to uni, I've got a pot of money that I can use, for example. Or you might go, in 10 years' time, I want to go on around the world cruise. Do I need to save for that?
That's medium.
Medium. 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And then long term is your retirement, exit, getting out, what am I going to do at the end strategy. That's your pensions mainly. So yeah, you kind of look at short, medium and long term. This is overall in terms of like your wealth strategy. So like saving for the future, saving for the here and now. And then the foundation of that, before you even start to think about saving, is to make sure that your protection is right. And I always talk about, the analogy is you wouldn't build a house without a strong foundation. So if your foundation isn't strong, forget it. Because if you've not got income protection and you don't get sick pay, who's paying you your wage when you can't work? So if you can't pay yourself a wage because you can't work, not saying you, but generally speaking, then that savings you've set up isn't going to get saved, is it? Because you've not got an income coming in. So then that stops as well. And your pension contribution will have to stop because you've no income coming in. And then you've got things like life cover and critical illness cover that might pay out if you become critical ill and you've got a mortgage, that gets paid off. So then you don't have to worry about the mortgage payment. So foundation first is protection, really important. That's, you know, the FCA who regulate our industry are very, very clear that that should be, you know, you should review your client's protection at every single appointment, and I do. And then you build on that.
So just go through them foundations again. You've got critical illness,
life cover, which is death,
and
then income protection, which is literally protecting your income against being unable to work through sickness, accident, or ill health.
So the critical bit, what's the critical bit?
So that's diagnosis of a specified critical illness. So income protection and critical illness are two separate kind of plans.
Right, okay.
People often will say to me, well, I've got that, I don't need that. Well, they're different. So imagine if you've got sick pay at work and you get paid full pay for 6 months, if you're ill. You might be ill because you've broke your leg playing football at the weekend. You might have a mental health illness, right? You're not critically ill, are you? But you can't go to work. So if your sick pay runs out, the income protection kicks in and pays you a replacement income that I would set up based on what you were earning prior to being ill. So it's all set up at the time. So you set up how much do you earn, how much income protection can we insure you for, how long do you want to wait for that to kick in? So usually you tie that in, or you should tie that in with the sick pay. Or if you're self-employed or run a business, you won't have sick pay, will you? But you might say, I can probably afford to draw my income for 4 months or 5 months out of the business, but then I'd be taking too much money out of the business. And then you set it to a defined age, so it might be 60, 65 or state retirement age. And if you claim on income protection, it basically pays you an income tax-free every month until you return to work, you die, or you reach the age in which you've set the plan out for. So I've had clients claim on policies that I've put in place for them because they've been ill or because something's happened to them. And when they return to work, that income protection stops unless they return to work on a part-time basis, in which case you can do kind of part payments through the income protection policy. So it's my job to get the right policy for the right client in that situation. Critical illness is different in the sense that, say somebody's got a mortgage and they owe 250 grand to the bank, they've got 20 years on the mortgage, you'd want a policy in place to mirror that mortgage for the same term, but if they died or was diagnosed with a specified critical illness during that period, whatever is left. So you can either have it's a level policy, so the policy sum assured stays the same throughout the time, so it's always 250, or you can have it where it reduces in line with your payment on your mortgage, so it'll go down. So you could have, for example, somebody that claims when they still owe 200 grand on the mortgage, the policy would pay out 200 grand as a lump sum. If you're critically ill at that point, you can pay the bank off, no mortgage payments need to be made, and that gives you so much peace of mind about getting better, recovering and getting back to work. But both would pay out in the instant, because if you weren't working, your income protection would also pay you and your mortgage would get paid off. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, that. But that's what, if I see a client and they go, I've no life cover on my mortgage, I'm like, what? Like, you've got to have that. It's like, why would you not want to protect your loved ones? And it actually isn't protecting you, is it? It's protecting those around you from financial loss, from stress, from anxiety, from worry. You know, stuff like that is really worrying to people. So we take that away. It's so important to take that away from people and go, you've got that, you're sorted. Like, phew, thank God for that. And I've had clients in the last couple of years claim on policies, critical illness policies for different types of cancers, and recover. I mean, obviously not everybody does, but recover, still have the mortgage paid off, go back to work, happy days. Mortgage is paid off, paid the policy. And both instances, they've gone, thank God you recommended we put this in place.
Imagine if it wasn't.
Exactly. Now so as a planner, that's why I cover it in every meeting, because I couldn't live with myself if one of my clients got ill and I hadn't brought that to their attention, or their husband or their wife said, why didn't you tell my husband or wife to put life cover in place? So I would always have that conversation. A lot of people have life cover within their pension. So death in service benefits with a company pension come hand in hand. But again, I would always say that death in service benefit is like an additional bit of life cover that will kick in for your family if something happens to you. And obviously every client's different, every client's individual. It's, you know, a set of circumstances for you would be different for me or whoever else. But, you know, literally that's what a financial planner does. Looks at the situation that you're in now, assesses it and goes, right, that's not right, you need to do this, you could do with doing that, etc., etc. And then we talk through those recommendations and then talk about budget. Is it affordable? Can you do it? What are the risks? You know, what are the advantages, the disadvantages, all that kind of stuff. But that's what you're paying a financial planner for. That's what it is. That's what, you know, you pay an accountant to look after your tax returns, don't you, and do your books. You look after it. You pay a solicitor to write a will and do your powers of attorney. You pay an estate agent to sell your home. So what's the difference in paying a financial planner to give you financial advice? But for some reason, the stigma attached to what we charge as financial planners is like a bit weird in the industry. So I never shy away from fees and charges, because I'll say, these are my charges, this is what I charge.
Well then, what do you?
So it's all product, it's all within the product. So I don't charge a fee. Yeah. So my meetings are completely free. Anyone can have a meeting with me, no obligation, I don't charge. And I always say to clients, if we have 3 meetings and at the end you don't take my advice, I'm not going to send you a bill for my time, because I know that if somebody works with me, by the time it comes to an end, they'll be like, absolutely, yeah, that's what I need to do. I know I need to do that.
What type of business model is that? What do you mean? You do meetings with them, you don't charge them anything
because that's the way the industry is, yeah. But it's not, it's the way my industry, it's the way my business runs. Right. I'm not saying all financial planners. Some financial planners will charge. I've not heard that before. Yeah, so some will charge upfront fees, others won't. So I charge different things. So if I do protection for a client, so if it's life cover.
Right, so let's give you a scenario and then you can price it up. So lady has just been divorced.
Yeah.
She's got 2 kids. He's been in control of the money. She doesn't know where to begin, a bit lost in the thing, and she comes to you and goes, right, okay, can you sort me out? Because I'm lost control. What's she getting? How much would it be for that?
So that would be, I would support her just because I would support her and talk through what she needs to do. Right. I don't get that client every day, so it's not like I'm not doing that every day. I'm not doing that for free every day. Yeah. So I'm also talking about that. So I've had a few clients who have suffered from financial abuse. So
what does that mean?
Controlling behaviour, keeping the money away.
Financial abuse. Never heard that term before.
So I'm part of you've heard of the She Inspires? Yeah. So Gulnaz and Ray, who run the She Inspires Foundation, have created basically a new group called Let's Talk Money, and I'm on their financial advisory board as their financial planner. So there's a few of us on the board now, and we've started to do webinars, giving support and guidance to people who have suffered economic and financial abuse, domestic abuse, and we've got a challenge that we want to educate 50,000 women with financial literacy and financial education to stop the cycle of domestic and financial abuse to women. So when a woman suffers from, this can be men as well, by the way, it isn't just women that suffer financial abuse, but this is what I'm dealing with, but men also suffer, it's not just that. But it happens where you might have a controlling partner that doesn't let you go to work because they want to keep control of you. Mm-hmm. Counts the pennies. What have you spent that? What was that in boots that you spent? Why have you spent that? What have you spent that on? Where's the money for that? Gives you some money. Or you go to work and they say you need to pay that money into my bank account because I'm in control of where.
Shut up.
Honest to God, it happens. Honest to God, I've got a client that's happened to. And then what'll also happen is they'll take loans out in their partner's name without them knowing, forged signatures. So then when they leave, or when the woman finally has the courage to leave, they find out that they've got debt in their name they didn't know anything about.
Shit. It's like, have you seen Love Rats on Netflix?
No.
That's what happens in there. It's fucking.
Oh, I think of yeah. So financial abuse is a really, really big thing that happens to people. So the She Inspires Foundation is a brilliant thing that we've got going. So they've actually got an event on Thursday night, and we're going to launch what this Let's Talk Money is about, and we're going to start going more into schools with it and stuff like that, which I talked about before. And the webinars that we've done so far have been really well received. We've had a lady actually share her story to help others, and we're looking for the women that are prepared to kind of go on camera and share, because it's really scary. And there's I've been working with a refuge called Fleet House in Bolton. So there's a refuge for women that can go to that have fled domestic abuse or financial abuse, and we're actually doing So St James's Place, who are the big company that I'm under, have meetings once every 6 months with all the partners like me who work in the Northwest, if you like. It's about 250 of us, I think. And we're meeting tomorrow at the Tough Sheet Stadium. So because it's in Bolton, I always go, excuse me, can we have a collection for a local charity? So in January, we collected for Urban Outreach. We did a food bank collection. And tomorrow we're doing a beauty bank collection for the refuge, so for Fleet House. So we've asked everybody to bring an item of toiletries in for women, and I'm going to go and deliver that, because these women turn up there with nothing. Like, not just the clothes on the back sometimes, like nothing. So if I can help people in any way, I'm a bit of a people pleaser, I think. I think that's the kind of person that I am. So if I think, well, we're all getting in one room, what can we do collectively that will help other people? So that's what's happening. So we're doing a beauty bank. So you'll, on my social media tomorrow, you'll see a picture when I take it all over to them. And I just think being a financial planner is great. I love my job, honestly. I love what I do, and I love my team. And I love my day job, and I love advising clients, but I also love the other bits that I get to do now as a business owner, because before, when I was employed, that's all I did: see clients. Whereas now I'm going into businesses delivering financial education. So I do it in businesses as well, Tim. So I'll go into businesses. So I went into Connect, into Jackie's, and did some delivering there. Been into a few different businesses. We do that. So we do delivering financial education in the workplace. We do it in schools. We support loads of local charities. I'm part of the She Inspires Advisory Board, which has been amazing. It's a great thing that we're doing. And I now do a radio show once a month on Bolton FM.
Amazing, mate.
I love it. I can't drive the desk, so John, the producer, does all that. But well, he does that because I'm like you. I'm interviewing my guests, so I'm having to interview guests, ask questions, think about the time, think about going to the news, what songs coming up, and all that stuff. But yeah, I absolutely love it. So last week was the 4th show, so I've been doing it since April, May, June. Yeah, about 4 months I think we've been doing it, and I've had. Jenna Atkinson and Kate Rose been on. So basically promoting estate agencies, talking about what estate agents do in the housing market. We talked about mortgages and the complexities around that. We've had Jenna talking about divorce and the financial impact of divorce. I've had Sarah Hume on talking about wills and powers of attorney. So all local Bolton businesses that I'm helping promote on the station. And then we've had Amy Oliver that came on. She works for Utility Warehouse where they try and saving people money on the bills and stuff. And then last week I had... and I've had our Bolton NHS charity have been in talking about all the different things that they do. And then last week we had the teacher and a couple of students in from the school that we went to talking about financial education. And then one of the, Susie from the University of Bolton talking about student finance. So there's always something every month that's finance related that I can get the information out of the people and share it with the people that are listening. It's really good. It's a really good little show that we've got going on.
So this, I'm going to call her Tanya because that's my mum. She gets divorced from the thing.
Yeah.
I need to go over this because I need to get it in my head.
Right, go on.
Right. She divorced from my dad, just mum and us two little ones.
Yeah.
And she comes to you.
Yeah.
Right. What are you charging her?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Unless we do business together.
So she could see you 3 times. You don't even charge her.
Yeah. Because I'd be helping her, wouldn't I? She needs my help. She's in a position where.
Where does that come from? Where is that?
Kindness, I think.
Has it happened to you?
No, but I lost my mum in 2010. So, and I think coming from a working class background of not necessarily having that much money, I just think what comes around goes around. So you give to get back, in my opinion. So it's a bit like the universe has got something better planned for me. If I
agree with you. Just bit me in the arse a few times, fucking with that.
I know. Yeah, I get that. And you can get abused from it, can't you? People can take the mick.
Yeah.
But I think I can spot that in terms of. So
you've done it that many times. That gut kind of says.
I can. So there are times when I'll get an inquiry from somebody. And it is just they want a bit of information or a bit of guidance or a bit of support. And I'll do that, but, emailing, telephone calls, that kind of stuff. And do as much as I can without getting sucked into something where it's taking me down a black hole that I can't help. I mean, actually I got a guy called me from a recommendation from somebody about this particular instance that he'd been asked to pay this money to get an old investment back. Nothing to do with me. It was like, I've been sent this letter and they've said if I pay this money up front, they'll get me this money back from an investment I did years ago. And I was like, right, okay. Nothing to do with me whatsoever, but I rang our fraud protection team, I Googled it, I rang the company, I asked for emails, etc. And in the end, I got back to him and said, you're being scammed 100%, don't pay any money out. He was being scammed. And if he'd not come to me, he'd have paid that money. And he'd have been scammed out of $3,000. And all it took me was a few phone calls and a bit of an email. And actually, do you know what? The reputational
legacy
for that, he's gonna go to anybody that speaks to him. Well, I spoke to a financial planner and she really helped me with such and such thing. I just think it just comes, you give and you get back, don't you? Yeah. Really. And I'm rushed off my feet, don't get me wrong. My job's really busy. I've got loads going on at the minute. My biggest thing at the minute is my NHS clients, their pensions change. It's quite complicated to explain. But they've all been sent sort of this statement with all loads of facts and figures on that I knew was coming and I knew that I'm going to help them with. And inundated with it. And I'm like, right, so I've got a process in place. I've got an amazing team that do loads of the admin side of stuff. So I can come and do stuff like this with you. And they're brilliant, and that's where we're busy at the minute. It's just that time of year, this time of year is where this happens with my medic clients, and I know that that's what my focus will be on. But I do that, and then they come back to me and go, right, now you've done that, can you do this? Can you do this investment? I've got an inheritance tax problem. I need to speak to my mum. I've just inherited 100 grand. I've just done, you know what I mean? And it's like, right, come back to me. And I share on social media a lot of stuff, and I get a lot of inquiries off the back of that. Or it'll just be an email saying, Dr. So-and-so's given me your number. They've said, you've been really helpful. Can you help me? Perfect. Don't ever pay for leads. Don't ever pay for people. I never have to really find clients. They find me. But I go back to the fact that I wasn't a known financial planner before I set up my own business. This has just been my organic growth of getting on social media, getting out there, networking, getting to know the right people, making the right connections, getting referral business, building a business from that.
Well, to be honest, mate, it's more building a brand than building a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're showing up with integrity, you know, and it's different, that.
Yeah, because I think it is brand awareness that I'm doing.
Yeah,
and,
100%.
You know, I'm Kaye Price, but my brand is KP Financial Wellbeing.
Yeah, well, that's what I say to people. It's like, build your brand and it'll build your business.
Yeah.
You know.
And I remember listening to you at the Connect Bolton networking event, and you said exactly that. And I sat there going, that's what I'm doing. Everything you were saying at that meeting,
what you're doing.
I was going, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. And I did think, like, right, I'm doing the things the expert's saying I should be doing.
Inverted commas, okay?
Well, expert. But, and I just think, you know, we give back to charity, we do all sorts of stuff, which everybody does, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, we do a lot of giving, and we do a lot of volunteering, and we do really cool stuff like that we love to do. So at my office is based at Bolton Arena, and at Bolton Arena they do something called the Penathlon Challenge, which is basically disabled and Senko children that get together. Schools bring them in, it's inclusive sport. So they come together and they do a bit of a competition, and me and my team all go and volunteer for the day, like marking, scoring, helping them do the games. They're all different games. Some of them might be in wheelchairs if they need assistance. And honest to God, the feeling you get from finishing that day is amazing. You know, it's like, mark it out the calendar, we're doing that day. And it's just like, I had my interview for She Inspires a few weeks ago, and one of my slides was, this is the stuff we love to do. So it was like, this is where I started, this is where I came from, this is how we support clients, blah, 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 these are my awards, and this is the fun stuff we do. And the fun stuff's like doing the bubble rush run for Bolton Hospice, and my husband jumping out of a plane for our Bolton NHS charity, doing a skydive, and, you know, we love all that kind of stuff because it's fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I think for me, I'm not a typical suited and booted financial planner, which I think is why people come to me, because I'm normal, I'm approachable. You know, I'm a mum, I'm a wife, got 3 kids of my own, stressed out my box all half the time, trying to juggle family life and business life, and I'm going through the perimenopause, so that's driving me insane. And, you know, just stuff like that. Got a dog, she needs walking. Yeah. You know, dealt with grief a long time ago, still hangs around. Like, not having a mum is really quite hard when you've a mum yourself with 3 young girls. So I'm one of 3 girls. My husband's got 2 sisters, and I've got 3 girls. So we're so girl heavy in our family. And my dad's been amazing. So my dad's like become my mum and my dad, and nana, and, you know, like they've got another nana, but for the purposes of this, you know, my dad's been really good and gives us flowers on Mother's Day and stuff, and just remembers. He remembers stuff. So it's been really good, that, because losing a parent at a young age, pretty tough. Yeah. Really. When you kind of like, I think I was 36, and you're like, what? Yeah. That's not right. So I'm like, you know, pictures of my mum or my kids. So I've got 3, 17, 11 and 7, they are my kids. And even my 7-year-old talks about Pink Nana. She's never met her in her life, but she knows who Pink Nana is. And that's what we call her, because that was her name when she was alive, because my eldest niece had everything pink. So she was nicknamed Pink Nana. But like Mabel, I miss Pink Nana. And I'm like, cute, because you don't know her, but we always said we'd keep it alive. Yeah. So
beautiful, mate. It's nice.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a nice grieving process, that, isn't it? Keep talking and keep communicating.
I think you should. And I deal with clients with grief. So, you know, I've had clients who have lost people, and, you know, I had a client who had inherited money from a parent and just absolute mental block about investing that money because felt it was wrong. Yeah, so we had to work the process through about that, like, use that money for something good, because that's what your parent would have wanted, and, you know, think of it as giving you a better future. And, you know, ultimately that worked, and we had tears in that meeting, and I can share that because I've lost a parent. And it's just relating yourself back to your clients' circumstances. So if they're going through grief, you've been through grief. If they're going, you know, got kids that are driving them up the wall, going to university, getting a dog. You know, often my dog gets lifted up like, here's Dolly. You know, Dolly will be on the screen, because a lot of my meetings are still online. I still do a lot online because I've I've nailed my online process in terms of seeing a client. So I lose that travel time and that downtime of being in the car because I can get off a call. I can write everything up for that. Tell you what's been a revelation, AI on Zoom. Oh my God. So basically...
transcribes it all for you. Yeah.
Boom. My mind was blown when I found that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So obviously you need to ask permission from the client to use it because it's recording. But my partner support sister, she literally is like, wow. I'm like, I know, incredible. I don't have to sit there while I'm trying to talk, trying to write at the same time. It's like all there, it's brilliant. So it's just finding the right processes, isn't it? Being smart with your time, smart with your processes, making things work, having a, certain... So we sit as a team often and go, right, how can we do this better? This isn't working.
Yeah.
Like, this is a long-winded process. How can we make this process a bit slicker? And we'll sit together and I let my team take ownership of that sometimes because you have to let a little bit of control go. I'm a bit of a control freak.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, I like things done.
A certain way.
Not necessarily a certain way. I just like things. I'm a bit OCD, I think, about certain things. I mean, we have a laugh in the office because we're always like, we'll be sat there and then suddenly one of us will burst into song and like, right, okay, so we're just having a moment, are we? Or start scrolling through your phone. Gotta have a minute, scroll through your phone for a minute. But yeah, ultimately, what's really important to us is that our clients are cared for and well looked after, and they are. We, every client gets a birthday card every year. We send birthday cards to all our clients. When it's a big birthday, we send either flowers, champagne or chocolates because we'll know whether the client drinks or not, or whether the client likes flowers, or whether, like, diabetic client, we wouldn't send them chocolates. We know our clients, so we look after them like that. And then at Christmas, I send my top 10 clients Harvey Nicks Christmas boxes to say thanks for being a valued client. I've got clients coming into the Mayor's Parlour in November to say thank you for being a valued client. I've booked Andy and Karen, the Mayor and Mayoressa.
Amazing, Andy.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So I've booked to go in and invited my business owner clients to come and sort of see what it's all about. Just to say thank you, have a bit of food, a couple of hours, and then... So it's just doing things, isn't it? Just doing nice things for people.
Yeah.
And caring for them.
How can people get hold of you?
How can people get hold of me? So they can go on my website if they want, which is kpfinancialwellbeing.co.uk. They can follow me on social media. So I am both of those on Facebook and Instagram. On Twitter, I am at Kaye Price Wealth, and I'm Kaye Price on LinkedIn. So yeah, you can get hold of me.
I appreciate it, mate.
Happy to help anyone. Yeah, thanks
it's
for having
amazing,
me in.
honestly. Amazing.
Thanks for having me in.
Just like, fucking, you're going to get inundated with people. Fucking man. Good luck to you. Thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Tim Marner, what? You're branded with the best. Tim Marner.